It's time once again to go racing.
It does not get any better than this.
The pressure is really on now.
Yes, it's pole position. Lights out and we're racing in PSGL.
The first lap has been absolute chaos.
What an overtake.
Oh no!
I've never seen anything like it.
Side by side again. This will be settled right at the end.
Everybody, and welcome to a whole new era for PCF4 here on PSGL. I'm Joshua Birch. I'm delighted to be joined in the commentary box by Psycho as well, who earlier on today passed his theory test as well. It's a whole heap of drivers on this channel as well. Good evening to you, Psycho. How are you today?
I'm doing very good. Thanks for the good news with theory test. Everything went well. We're ready to get on some action. PSGL, start of the season, F4. What do you feel like?
I'm very, very nervous from a broadcasting point of view, but from a racing point of view, I'm excited. It's going to be a fantastic season ahead of us as well. Across 15 rounds we have over this year's calendar as well. What's your personal take on this year coming up?
Yeah, we have some interesting driving lineups here. Some of the drivers I know personally were racing with them. So it looks like there's going to be some great action. We're heading on the first round of Portugal in Portimao. That track is definitely a bit special, you could say. It's a fairly new added track, one of the new tracks in F1 2021. A lot of strategy, maybe soft to hards, soft to mediums, but we're going to see what we're going to do as we're heading into qualifying very soon, very shortly.
Qualifying is going to be very, very key, of course. 18 minutes ahead for the drivers, then a 50% race distance. Let's take a look at the season 30 calendar coming up as well. We already had the placements a couple of weeks ago as well. We also had the special race where Ginger Andy and Dan took over in the commentaries. But this is the big one. Round one begins here in Portimao, Portugal. Next week, we're in Silverstone, the British Grand Prix, a fantastic venue. Then we move over to the Jewel in the Crown. Round three takes part in Monte Carlo as well. The fourth round, Le Castellet, another fantastic circuit as well. But when we go into France, Hungary as well is the fifth round of the season. Austria at the Red Bull Ring takes us to round 6. That crazy race in 2021, Saudi Arabia makes its way onto the PSGL calendar. Round 7 in Jeddah before going on to the traditional starting point for the second half of the season. Belgium takes us part as well in early into late March. Then we get the Netherlands, the 10th round of the season at Interlagos in Brazil for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Mexico and Singapore, a very exciting couple of rounds of the calendar. The United States Grand Prix followed by Italy. How 2001 of a calendar is that as well, before the season concludes in late May in Bahrain as well. Let's take a look at the track though we are racing at tonight. It's the Algarve International Circuit, a 15-turn course. It's 2.891 miles, of course, 4.653 kilometers, 2 DRS zones as well. Your top speed is over at 7th gear up to 8th gear, 320 kilometers an hour. And qualifying is underway. We are moving on to that now as well, as the green lights are on, all ready to go. You can see the cars are out there, and immediately we are spotting one of the cars who have been replaced out here. AVT Yar is a replacement for Raven as well in this opening race of the season, after he is unable to race here today. What's your emphasis on this track here, Psycho? What are you most looking forward for qualifying that?
I'm looking forward for qualifying. It's pretty hard to set a good lap out here. There's a lot of traction zones where it can easily just fall off, or even the track lines here to fall off and invalidate a lap is pretty special around here. So these drivers need to focus 100% on these laps. We have Bushy Ants as well as Yar Santiago. I know these personal drivers, they definitely have practiced hard pretty well for this track, of course, as well as Will Gibson and of course all these other drivers who placed very well in the placement show and came into F4 tier. As we're going ahead with our qualifying right now, we already have a lot of drivers in the middle of their lap. Of course, some of them opting to stay with the soft tires. Maybe some of them are opting to stick with the medium tires. If we look over on the tire choices right now, we can see that everyone's on soft tires, so it looks like no waste with those medium tires. We're going to use them from full effect when the race comes. What do you think about the strategy play here? As we know, the optimum strategy is soft to medium. It is risky though. The safe choice is for soft to hards, but what do you think will come out of this race we see?
Race 1, you don't really want to go that hard, that quick at the start of the season. I personally would go for the soft-hard option over the course of a 50% race. If you want to gamble on a safety car later on, maybe a soft to medium, then to another set of softs. But we could still see what's going to happen at some point in the racing ahead of us. Napa Davinsky is the first driver who set the fastest time, is on 1:16.327 as well. Pesso goes P2, 1:16.401. Mateus Conardi is down in P3 as well, 1:16.411. It's all sorts of drama, as that is Yar Santiago, with his full name now added onto the board, who goes into P4, 1:16.437. So already, cycles, and we're seeing the times, 1:16.4s covering 2, 3 and 4 positions. That 1:16.3 by Napa has sort of pushed everybody out for the benchmark quite early in this qualifying session. Yeah,
we can see the drivers already so close already. As I can see a little bit of dribble of rain on the track. I don't know if it's me, but yeah, I can see a little dribble of the rain.
Yeah, there's a bit of rain, so that's even better. So especially look at Dazed Rhombus as well. He just put in the Discord in the general chat that his game has crashed. He's out on an outlet now, but that's going to be terrible news for these guys as well, because he's going to be heading out there. He needs to do a lap ASAP, otherwise he is going to be starting even further at the back as well. Watch out for that one as this session progresses as well. Just talking about some of the replacements in there as well. KFT Faz is not racing in the McLaren this weekend. He's been replaced by the VTRL Simax as well. Red Tox not in the Alpha Tauri. He's been replaced by the AM. As I've already said as well, AVT Yar is in for Ravon in the Alfa Romeo. And also the VAR FedEx, a very late added, literally within the hour of the qualifying session being begun, because Zoltan Zanarda is not racing this weekend alongside his teammate of Vivix, as well as we've got cars coming in, and Bugger Off is on intermediate tyres. Very strange having to say that, but that's the driver's name as well. But he's changed over to Inters.
There you go. Yeah, we already have the first intermediate runners planning to come out right now to the pits. But the rain is coming quickly fast. I don't know if tires, the change will definitely make the drivers change into intermediate tires, and it's unfortunate for who was the Aston Martin to make his game crash. It means he can't put in a good lap.
Yeah, Dazed Rhombus 915, who's down in 18th place, who is out there on a lap, but has just come in and he's disconnected from the session again. That's the second time he's had a game crash. Now, if you joined us yesterday on PSGL for the F1 race as well, you know the technical difficulties that we as the commentators had as well. And you can imagine the technical difficulties the drivers are having. We're spectating these as well. The drivers are having to deal with lag in the middle of a corner. As we see on board now with the AM, the replacement driver for Red Tox. He's just come through Tory Vip as well. Second gear, 75 kilometers an hour. Up the hill now, that's Samson at turn 8. Third gear, 115 kilometers an hour. Over the crest, drop down. MotoGP riders describe that as a roller coaster. And that's why turn 9 is called Craig Jones, the famous motorcyclist who sadly crashed and lost his life at this circuit. Turn 9 was dedicated to him as well as the track surface. Psycho, is it psychological rain we're seeing on there at the moment, where it's not affecting the track surface that much?
I see you there. As we see Moonfall already going off, those soft tires are definitely not sticking with this weather. Yeah, this weather is completely turning into wet now. The rain is falling pretty quick. I don't know, you never know. At the end of this qualifying session, we might see a wet race. But for sure, it's definitely intermediate tires right now. If you're going out on softs, that's a grave mistake you're doing now. We have some tires, we have some drivers retiring.
Gibson's out. Yeah, Gibson's out. I think he's retired from the pit lane. ETA Zelenkevich as well as retired. retired. I think they've all agreed it's just not going to dry up. No one's going to improve. We might see an early end to qualifying in the first round of the season. That is unprecedented as well. Look at this. I've never seen this before. We have got drivers after drivers retiring from the pit lane. They're all done with qualifying. But look at Dazed Rhombus. He's back out on the track in an out lap. ETA Danny Coe as well. They might be the only two who stay out on the track on the intermediates, because they are going to be fighting each other. Who starts 19th and 20th? My question there to you though, Zyko, is it worth it to be fighting over 18th and 19th positions out there on the track?
I wouldn't say it is. To risk your tires and just for one position, that low position, I wouldn't say it's worth it. I can understand these drivers retiring that early off. I don't think the weather is going to let off at the end of this qualifying session, and putting in a soft lap is pretty crucial. But we do have some drivers out here gambling it, going for the intermediates. We have Pezzo right now in the intermediate tires on his outlap, as well as Bugger Off, but it looks like the conditions are a bit wary for him. I don't think they're going to set a faster lap than those stops in the beginning of that qualifying session. I believe everyone should retire as soon as possible, but there you go, DRS is disabled, the conditions are officially wet. Everyone's retiring. AM has retired right now. We only have about 5 drivers in the track that has not retired yet.
Unbelievable. As they all, big slide further back as well, as you see in the cars on the circuit. That's from Pesso, as you say, who's on those intermediate tyres. Bugger Off as well, putting on intermediate tyres, and the only two out there. Rest of you are coming in. Big lock up on the tyres. Pesso already had one spin early on in the lap. He's gone for another slide, and now he's back into the pit lane. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars only are out there qualifying. The rest of the field, so that's 15 drivers, have retired and have said that is enough. I see a comment as well from VR FedEx, who is racing, saying I don't want to say he's racing and not racing. Looking through, FedEx, who's out there saying as well, it's a one-shot qualifying. It seems to be that way. As everybody just gets adjusted out there on the circuit. 7:48 to go then, and that's ETA Jane as well for Tripkov just retiring, so that's down now to 3 cars. 17 have retired as the rain just getting even worse out there. Dazed Rhombus, though, is going to get a time and moves up into 13th position. Now that proves that the track must be at least a little bit quick if you can still set fast times inside that bottom half of 13 down. So everybody who hasn't changed tyres, who have disconnected, so everyone but Bugger Off, who's on the inters, can't improve. Now that is interesting to note as well.
That worked out great for Dazed Rhombus. He was pretty low down there in the qualifying standings, and he went for the gamble to take a soft tire, butcher it completely, but those position gains are pretty important, I would say. He did it pretty well, but the softs aren't really good pace to keep it in the top 10, to be honest. Dazed Rhombus and Bugger Off, the only driver that's out on track right now. We have Bugger Off still in that intermediate lap, but it looks like he is validated right now. Most likely gonna come back into the pits. Maybe we might see a retirement. Nearly had it there. That's a bad start. Looks like he's starting another lap right now, but that's definitely not gonna be good for his time right now. As we go into turn 1, that's very hard corner to invalidate. Going pretty slow down there. What do you think of this qualifying session so far?
I'm thinking this is one of the most dramatic season opening qualifyings I've ever done in Formula 1, and it's my first time here on PSGL. So, only 3 cars, no, correction, 2 cars left. Dazed Rhombus has retired, so it's only Bugger Off and VER, FedEx as well, who are out there, which is unbelievable. So, now, everybody, cross your fingers, cross your toes. Is it going to be a wet race? Because so far, these guys who've stayed on the track have got the best data possible in order to know what's going to happen next. I was going to read out what we needed to do in qualifying, is that the drivers are reminded that slipstream is prohibited, but there's nobody out there. They've got, Bugger Off's got the entire track to himself out there as well, as FedEx is still in the pit lane. You can't make this up.
Now he is the only driver to be in the qualifying session. He's literally have this whole entire playground just to play with himself. He has 5 minutes 20 seconds on the board, 46% ERS. Usage is pretty high here in this track, but with the rain, it is quite forgiving. He's going to set this lap right now. Is he going to gain a couple positions?
123, 4, 5, 6 across the line. It's a 125, 956. He doesn't improve on time, stays in position as well. That is an interesting thing. So you can see, actually, he's remarkably well to be inside the 116s. If he was on dry tyres, I reckon he could still have a shot, you know, at getting up there inside the top 8 at least. He's easily got 2 tenths to gain on these lap times. And he's retired.
Well, there you go. There you go. And that's your qualifying session of the first season. There you go. It's already started off just like that. The weirdest qualifying session. Most likely the fastest one I've probably seen so far. That was just it's really weird. I wonder if this rain is going to carry on throughout the race.
Really hope so. Incredibly hope so as well, as we get ready for the green lights to come on. Ready for the following session as well. If we are going to hopefully in a second hop back up to the comms box if possible. Don't want any technical issues to kick us out. You can see the 10 countdown coming up as well until the session gets us underway.
There you go.
Here we are, back up in the comm box. Well, I think that was a pretty productive first session, and I think definitely PSGL have thrown us in on the deep end. We're commentating on that one. But the race ahead, you race, of course, on F1 and in other series. If it is going to be a wet race, what's your standing on it? What would you do? Intermediates to begin with or go full wets?
Definitely depending on what kind of rain it is. If it's full rain, then of course the wets are here best for the situation. But the intermediates can definitely last out. Pitting, you have to of course pit for the intermediates once again, or you can gamble it, just stay out on those tires, because that's very possible. I've seen several other league drivers done that before. But it is very slippy out there, especially those traction zones with that uphill. It's going to be careful out there for those drivers, especially if it's raining on the start of the race. The turn 1 is going to be... It's going to have a lot of action, so I can't wait for this race to start soon.
It's going to be moments away from the green light. I think we'll switch back over, because you can see it, obviously, from what we can up here. 14 seconds away from the formation lap beginning as well. We will tell you everything you need to know about these races and when the green lights come on, so you are not going to be left in the lurch. But of course, you're dedicated viewers here on PSGL, so you always know what we're going to do. There's the one light, and the formation lap gets underway. Napodavinsky starts on pole position. Pesa starts second on the grid as well. And it's looking like it's a dry track to begin with, but tyre choice is critical. And Psycho, you can take us through the strategy options. You're the driver here, my friend.
So interestingly, we have P17 Will Gibson running on the softs at that last place over there. P17. That's an interesting strategy over there. He might go for the 2-stop. But, of course, that's not pretty beneficial. The 1-stop here is for soft mediums. If you want to play more safe, the soft hard choice is there for you. If you're going for the soft mediums, you're going to have to conserve your tires a little bit as well. The track is very high on ERS and fuel usage, so the drivers are definitely going to be wary. They're going to have to put +1 or more laps of fuel. But if there is a safety car, that's definitely going to put a wrench into the strategy. There's an early safety car, the medium tires, the medium runners are definitely going to suffer as they need to pit to a hard choice, or as well gambling it on a soft. But if there is a late safety car, the medium tires, the drivers there are definitely going to be put up a lot of positions. So we'll see how this track fondles off towards the running laps. It's definitely a track full of action waiting for us. There's definitely going to be a lot of spins, maybe safety cars. But as we see now, the cars are running off, going into their formation grids. All the drivers lining up, hopefully warming up those tires pretty nicely and not abusing them that much. They do have a lot of tire choices, only using 1 soft. Some drivers using their 2 sets of softs. But still have a lot of tire choices to play with. What do you think?
It's going to be incredible, this race. That's what I think as well. Tyre choices all over the place. Soft, medium, hard to play with. Tyres to spare as well. And this is going to be fantastic. Talking quickly through the track limits. Exceeding any of the track limits at turns 1, 2, 5 and 8 will be penalised by the race stewards as well. The grid beginning to form up then. 33 laps ahead of us will be the big crunch point. The run down to turn 1. 6th gear, 230 kilometres an hour. The primary Chimera corner. It's a triple apex across turns 1, 2 and 3. That's 3 rights before a left at turn 4, climbing up the hill towards the Tory VIP hotel area as well. We are set. F4 PC is under starter's orders. Action in the Algarve, and Napa Davinsky gets a great start. Pesso comes across as well. Look at Mateus, he's right alongside Pesso into turn 1. Pesso has the inside line. Mateus forced back a little bit. Yar Santiago, he's a debut driver. He's right up the inside as they head towards turn 3 at Lagos as well. Up the hill to turn 4, sweeping back down to Tory VIP as well. Second gear, 75 kilometers an hour. It's a dangerous braking zone. Bagos up to 12th place. FedEx has moved up as well. There's a few cars dropping back. FedEx is down to 18th position.
Oh, is this the AlphaTauri off? Looks like the ATM. It looks like the AEM has gone off. That unfortunate for him. He's one of the soft runners up there in the qualifying positions. That's one casualty. We have Will Gibson already on a 3-second penalty, I believe.
Yep. And that, I think, must be for cutting the corner already. So how much was he on when the race started as well? A fantastic race already in the opening lap as well. FedEx is down to 19th position. KTF Kevin moves up into 18th. VTRL Dan as well is dropped down to 20th place. And it's still side by side as Bibix as well. And ETA's James Tripkov try and go side by side. And it's all getting close now. And here comes Zelen as well. Zelen Kivic, the ETA Ferrari as well coming through. And another 3-second penalty for Will Gibson as well. He's having none of it, but no DRS. You're going to have to do this all on slipstream as the XRT Spice is into the pit lane. No 007 about that one. He needs a pit stop as soon as this race has begun. Dazed Rhombus moving ahead of QVR Moonfall as well. They're still side by side.
They're going 3 wide into the corner. They're having contact. He's in ghosted right now. There's so much contact going through the second lap already. We have Will Gibson already with that 6-second penalty, but he's already overtaking. He's leading the pack right now. Will these driver dive bomb it, or will they play it safe going to lap 2?
Looked like he's going to the inside line. Luckily that the ghosting is on as well. Otherwise that would have been race ending. Gibson with a 6-second penalty going right round the outside at Lagos as well. That was a very much a MotoGP line, but he's gone off at Samson. He's gone off and through. He's down now 13th, 14th as well as he rejoins the track, cutting off as they come through the Craig Jones corner. He's side by side as well with the Alpine as well of ETA Danny. And it's still side by side with the AM as well.
Oh, AM's looking a bit squirrely. He's gone off. He's gone off. He couldn't catch the car in time. He completely went off. Not again for this poor AlphaTauri driver. But there's still a lot of action left. They're still going side by side. Going to lap 3. Already so much action. We already have more than 2 drivers going off. Everyone's saying their fastest lap right now. Looks like Bushy Amps is right behind Simax, the McLaren driver. Is he going to go for the attack into turn 1? We have Moonfall and Dazed Rhombus. They're going side by side right now. Looks like the Williams is going to back off of that. But is he going to make a move going into turn 4? Let's see, going up in this traction zone. It's a pretty traction zone going into turn 5. DRS is enabled, so he will get DRS in the zone right now. Will he use this overtake to go past the Dazed Rhombus, the Aston Martin? He's gonna go for it. He's going side by side. This is gonna be an easy overtake. No, they're going side by side right now. Aston Martin leaving the space for it, and he does it. Moonfall sticks to overtake, but does the Aston Martin have any retaliation against that?
No, we might just do. It's a downhill segment of the track all the way to Samson. Down here at turn number 8. Turn 9, Craig Jones. It sweeps downhill. Next opportunity for overtaking comes at turn 11. The double barreled right. 7th gear, 235 kilometers an hour. Back down on the brakes. 3rd gear, 135 kilometers an hour. Accelerate once again. Uphill towards turn 13 as well. A 2nd gear, 90 kilometers an hour corner. But he's trying to look round the outside. The door's been shut to in there. As Simax trying to pass Dazed Rhombus right round the outside. He does the comeback brilliantly at Sagas at turn 14. Now coming through the Gallup corner at turn 15. And he's through. Simex down now. He's going to try and get the DRS slipstream on board with Bushy Ants as well. And it's going to be 3 abreast. How much of a Hacken and Schumacher maneuver are we getting already? As Simax gets into the points as well. And Rhombus loses 2 positions as well. Not very robust of him, I should say.
It could be a team play, to be honest. Bushy Ants could attack Semax right now and helping his teammate just to follow along with him. Bushians was quietly in the background, just watching them fight off, waiting for his perfect opportunity, and there you go. We got bugged off! He came out of nowhere, Danny! Just came out of nowhere and went in the inside of Days Rumbus and went for the overtake. He got it through, but looks like Danny is just quickly going up the ranks. Days Rumbus is slowly falling down the ranks right now.
So he had the problems in qualifying with being able to disconnect and reconnect as well. He came into the race when the strategy was abysmal with the weather coming down as well, and now those rain clouds still coming above, aren't they? It's not exactly sunshines in the Algarve, is it? No spray tanning available at the moment, and nobody going for a dip in the pool that's in the paddock area. Look at the AVT, Yar Santiago trying to now get in the slipstream with the Red Bull with Peso, and he's going to pull to the outside, down to turn 1 at Primera, trying to go right round the outside, and he's going to take it. The Red Bull's not going to give anything there, off. And that was Santiago going off the track there. And to me, it was all 4 wheels off the road. How did you see that one?
That was amazingly close. That was just a hair left of space left off. And Will Gibson has another 3-second penalty, totaling up 9 seconds. Unfortunate for him. Good stuff from Yari Santiago. But if you look at his battery right now, his battery is about 28%. Goes in, and this track, as I said, is pretty high on ERS usage. He definitely needs to start saving some a little bit. But we already seen a lot of action already. We already have this close battle. We can see the train is getting closer and closer.
This is fantastic as well. They are all getting closer. Santiago closing in on Napa Davinsky as well. But as I said, as you said, Psycho as well, and I can see it with my pictures. Look at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 even, all closing out together with each other. And Mateus Canal has got internet issues. You can see the 4 little red levers alongside his name. That tells the drivers he is low on the internet. Now, is that going to suffer with disconnections? It's mentioned as well in the stewards if he has got internet issues, he'll be deemed responsible for incidents as he goes side by side with Peso, and no need for a supermarket chain to change its name there. He's down to 5th position, and Bontrax, unbelievable for TRT in 4th place for Alfa Romeo, goes up into P4 as well. That is a brilliant manoeuvre there for Bogdan Moldovan.
Peso slowly falling down. Bondax just said thank you very much and just got the free overtake. He followed through very nicely with the Mercedes of Matthias.
Danny's dropping down the order. He's down in 17th. I think he's had a spin in that first sector at Lagos. So yeah, he's gone down as Gibson going right round the outside of Bushians as well, and he's taken him. Gibson may have the most penalties of the race so far, but he is certainly trying to do everything over the side of everything. This is fantastic stuff already. You don't know where to look next.
Just these 4 drivers alone, these are very competitive racing right now. We see side-by-side action at every single corner. We have Bushy and Will Gibson fighting closely, as well as behind them we have Bugger Off and Kevin. So these 4 drivers are already fighting for that P12 position. But as well, if you're looking at the top right now, the closest gap you can see is P4 to P5, as well as we have P8, as well as these 4 drivers. Looks like FedEx already has a 3-second penalty. We can see that penalty is racking up right now.
So 9 seconds for Will Gibson. He's got the most of it so far as Jane is going right around the outside. So the 2 Red Bulls trading positions there. That's Jane Tripkov as well, and Peso just changing over. Presumably that's a team order if Peso's tyres are going. And of course he's only got 33% of VRS power. It's going to be affecting him a lot as he tries to regen that back across the remaining of the race. Oh, and the AM days get worse with a 3-second penalty, but Bugger Off and ETA Danny is into
they're into the pits. Yeah, that's pretty early as they were on the mediums. They might have gone together and got some damage. As I say, the softs, the softs usually last around to lap 13. Lap 14 if you really want to stretch it, and then they go off to mediums. Mediums usually last around lap 20 to 22. So if the pit window is pretty close, but that's pretty early for these medium runners. They might have got some damage somewhere.
So there have been a lot of contacts, and both of them have got penalties on the board. Well, apart from Danny, obviously, so that's Bugger Off who's just got a penalty. But I presume they were together on the track and something's happened. But hard tyres go on for Danny. Watch his progress. VTRL Dan has also pitted. and he's put on a set of the hard tyres. He did that 2 laps ago. We'll see what's happening there. That was not, I don't think, for collision damage, as KTF Kevin closing in on the back once again of Will Gibson on the start-finish straight. Down 800 metres before the first corner, dives to the inside with the assistance of DRS and goes up into 13th place. Gibson's day though, Psycho, just getting absolutely worse. He may as well be Mel Gibson in the last movie he ever did, but he's trying to have a fight back, much like Mel Gibson.
Oh, he had a little tap there. He looks squirming coming off that corner. The slightest bit of contact can send you off, especially in that turn. He's running on low ERS, but the thing is now, if Kevin can get inside of Bushy Ant's DRS range, he can definitely pull off, he can definitely defend from Will Gibson, as DRS in turn 1 is so strong. If Will Gibson hopes that Kevin doesn't get DRS, if he does, then that's unlucky for Will Gibson, but if he doesn't, this can definitely be another overtake move for Will Gibson.
Desperately trying to close up, and now look at this, the battle between the top 4 closing up as well. Napatavinsky leading this race, but Yar Santiago closing in, Mateus Kunal as well. I think that he's got his internet issues sorted. As we watch now, this could be another race lead change as Yar Santiago gets in the DRS. Look how much faster he is into turn 1 and takes the lead away from Napatavinsky as well. Beat that, he says. Very much I was going for first there, and now he can control the pace, and Napa for the first time, look, he's still got 62% of his ERS power, and he's got the DRS on the run down to Tori Vip. Is this going to be a very short-lived lead for Yar Santiago? And no, he's going to at least last another lap there. But a lead change for the first time today, and how long until we see another?
That's a very, I believe Yar Santiago is on 5% ERS, but I believe that the Ferrari of Naptavoski, he's definitely saving his ERS so he can go for a move onto turn 1. It definitely a smart strategy for the Ferrari driver, as well as the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo of Mateus and Bondrax, just waiting for the perfect opportunity for these drivers to screw up, hopefully make a mistake and move into those positions. We have a lot of action going on right now. It's in lap 9. You can see Pesto and Zelenkovic getting really close to each other, almost tapping there.
It caused him oversteer as well. He must have touched the front wing to Pezzo's rear car, the Red Bull, because you can see the car was just completely unsettled coming out of turn 13 as well. That is a second gear 90km/h corner as well. It's downhill, so oversteer there, and you'll just loop back down the hill again. But look at this, the Red Bulls acting like a train together as well. Pezzo trying to go for a move on his teammate right round the outside, and he's done it before the braking zone. This is why we love Portimao. It's a complete roller coaster, and it is an absolute, complete, fantastic race.
The two Red Bulls, I don't know if they're working together. I don't know what that was, the little squirm that was on the turn 1. But they have switched over positions. The Ferrari is still looking backwards, still looking behind them. We got Ferdex with another 3-second penalty.
Oh.
As I told you, the track is very not forgiving on track limits. We can see that with Will Gibson, but still a lot of drivers. Actions are still left. You never know. Safety car might happen. You never know. We still have 23 laps left of the session. The pit window is going to open very soon. We got Spiz with another 3-second penalty.
And that is with the Mercedes running order, and he's only done in 16th position. I remind you, your current race leader of Yar Santiago is not a permanent driver. He is a replacement driver in this weekend for Raven at Alfa Romeo, and if things stay as they are, he will be leading the Drivers' Championship, and Alfa are going to have to make a very tough call, as are the stewards, if they want to let him race, as we see Zelen there getting way past Jane Tripkov as well, down towards turn number 1, and it's all starting to go a little bit downhill for the Red Bulls because they've got a Ferrari fly desperately in the middle of their Red Bull sandwich.
That's what I was just gonna say. The Red Bull sandwich. Will Gibson retires. That's in the pits. No safety car for there. I was a little bit excited there. That would have been perfect for the soft runners. Oh, that made me crash my heart right there. That was a bit too close for comfort. Not gonna lie. Yeah, but.
Yeah, usually when we see that a retirement, it leads to a safety car or virtual safety car that leads to a full one. So far, it's still going off, so he's retired in the pit lane. He is going to come back out on the track, though, which always worries me because that sometimes leads to somebody crashing in, because now you can see yellow set to 1. I've seen it in several leagues I've covered as well, where the cars crash into each other and bring out the safety cars. And keep your fingers crossed, we remain green as the gap at the front is not being increased. Jan Santiago has got hounding pressure from Napa Davinsky and Matthias Connell, and joining that now is TRT for Bondra as well. They're all closing in and all desperately psycho as well as pit stops. They all coming together. That was my next word to you, was the fact that the pit stops were coming in. And are we going to see the lead change? We have. Bontrax leads.
Bontrax league with the Ferrari driver as well. We have all these cars coming into the pits. We have still the Red Bull as well following the Ferrari. Did the Red Bull pit? Yeah, definitely the Red Bull did pit. So they're going to work on the strategy, see which one works best. Everyone's going to go for the medium tires. I don't believe anybody went to the hard tires.
No, they've all gone to mediums who've come into pit lane. Nobody on brand new set of hards, so they are going to try and risk it. What I said earlier on in the broadcast was that go for a medium and then hope there's a late safety car and bolt on a set of soft compounds. It's going to be race very much of tyre saving for everyone who's just changed over to the medium compound tyres. They've got to do, another 21 laps on those tyres. It's an awful, awful risk on a set of mediums. But now Bondrax then gets a lap under their belt as a race leader in the PCF4 here on PSGL as they all continue now. We're into the part of the race where pit stops will be the main focus. As you can see, up 15 places though is QVR's Moonfall. That is a fantastic race so far. Biggest loser on the start? Well, Peso down into 13th place, lost 11 as the top three dive into the pit lane once again to you, Psycho.
Yeah, for sure. We see if Moonfall and Peso can definitely keep those positions. We still have those medium runners in front of them. So we'll see if a safety car maybe can turn around, definitely. If the safety car can come in mid-race, it will be definitely interesting to see where the driver will end up. We already have some close action coming straight out of the pits. Everyone's on mediums right now. We have Bugger Off still on the softs, but there are fairly new softs. You only have 3 drivers on those hard tires. Looks like those top 3 pitted for medium tires as well.
And everybody who came into the pit lane on the previous lap have got back out ahead of the drivers who have pitted on lap 13. So that undercut has worked brilliantly for Santiago, Napa Davinsky and Matthias Connell, who's battling with the AM, but the AM currently has got loads of penalties and hasn't served any of them or come into the pit stop. He's very much a wild card in the middle of that field as well. As Moonfall takes the lead of the race, that moves him up by my calculation, 18 positions, which is absolutely fantastic as well. So Williams will be desperately shouting to stop the clock right now. We've definitely got a new race leader.
We definitely do. We have Moonfall right now leading the race right now. I can see the intervals. Here we go. We see the position changes right now. Looking over, we have Moonfall with the 18th place positions, but can he keep it going towards the ends? He could definitely hope for a safety car coming soon. We have Spies with a 3-second penalty ready. We have Pesos with 9 seconds penalty, but I already stated that the positions will be shifted coming towards later on the race. As I said, the gaps for the pit window for the mediums is lap 22, around there. As Peso takes the fastest lap of them all.
And he'll get that bonus point if he can get inside the top 10, which at the moment he will, because the AM has got 6 or 9 seconds worth of penalties. Even so, he will not finish where he is because he's got that black and white flag alongside him. And now we're watching on board with Matthias battling effectively for the race lead, with Jan Santiago coming out ahead of Napa Davinsky. How crucial was that then, as Psycho, for Santiago to come out or pit on the same lap as Napa Davinsky and come out ahead of him, and now very much he can control the race going forward.
Yeah, that was a good choice of Yari Santiago undercutting there. Not technically undercutting, but following the lead, following the race. He has the standpoint, he has the lead, he can't gamble anything. He needs to play the safe choice if he wants to take the lead. He is provisionally first place when these medium drivers do pit eventually. So he is keeping a very nice distance. We have with 8 tenths between provisional P1 and 2. But we have the Mercedes driver right behind him, as well as the Alfa Romeo of Bondrax, looking carefully just to pinpoint their mistakes. Where you have some really close battles with the Ferrari and the Red Bull Peso overtaking, putting on his ERS. Is he going to go for the overtake? It's going side by side. Is there going to be any contact? Everyone's leaving space. He kind of ran him off wide, but Peso sticks with the overtake. The DRS zone is right there. The Ferrari is following him through. He went through, and he's going to the next DRS zone. And my voice can't catch up with all this action.
And here we go then, back with the switch back. The AM looks to the inside, goes late, but he's got a very, very aggressive Red Bull of the ETA Jane Tripkov as well, who came out of nowhere, dive bombed the inside of both the AM and the ETA of Zelen as well. And they may be ETA of the same name, but they are not teammates. They are rivals in the truest sense of the word as they switch back up through Craig Jones at turn 9. Now ride up the roller coaster once again into turn 10 and 11. The two corners called Portimao, two very different corners, one in 7th gear, one in 3rd gear. Drop down, turn 12 and 13, 6th gear, down to 2nd gear, 90 kilometers I keep saying. Drop down through now the Sagres corner. It gives you the DRS detection zone before the Galp corner, and the run 802 meters from turn 15 all the way to turn 1. This is the DRS zone number 1. Is this going to be an overtake? I think he's a bit too far back there. Zelen feels like he's going to have to go defensive, and we cut to Zelen trying to have attack on Peso. So they're all three of them in a battle with each other, and they just cannot break the slipstream. They're still within a second of each other. Correction, they're still within half a second of each other.
We have also as well the Mercedes Matthias also following really close with the Ferrari teammate of Zelenkovic. There's still a lot of laps left. Is he going for the overtake? He was really close for it. Right behind this gearbox, I would say. He's still stuck in the Red Bull sandwich, Zelenkovic, the Ferrari driver, but he's racing this pretty well. His fellow team member, Jan Turkov, is right behind them. Of course, it's a separate league. They're not racing as they were friends. They're racing as their enemies.
And now they very much is. Oh, and Zelen goes wide. Tripkov tries to come on the inside line. Bit of oversteer there as well. So they're all closing up. This is tremendous racing. In the words of Murray Walker, this is Grand Prix racing with a capital G and a capital P, because you don't know where to look on this board for anything else but action. And now Tripkov's going to be in the DRS zone as well. Zelen is going to have to go defensive, but they're trying to pass Peso for that top 10 position. The last point is more exciting than the top half of the field right now, as it's too far back into turn 1. That's on board with Zelen looking ahead to Peso, and Jane Tripkov just too far behind. Battle for third brewing up there between the two teammates as Mateus Kunal on the back of Napa Davinsky. This still for the net lead of the race, but as dazed Rhombus now up to P4. The top 5, 16 laps they've done in this race, and they are still out there on the track. If they can go to lap 20, they stand a great chance, and one thing that will benefit them now would be a safety car.
It definitely will. Definitely will. Safety car will help the medium runners so much. But as you can see, the new medium runners, Yari Santiago is already 2.4 seconds off KFT Kevin P5 with the old medium tires. So they need to pit very soon, as they can lose so much time. The tires are already starting to drop off. Yari Santiago is showing incredible pace. But of course, the race is not over yet. You never know with these drivers. A safety car can happen at any moment, and I can just feel it coming soon. You never know. The gaps are just so close. You just need one good run into turn 1, into that DRS zone, and you can just get that overtake, that swift overtake, as well as the second DRS zone can bring us some brilliant overtaking and some nice dives by these drivers, as we've seen in the past.
Now we see Bondrax as well closing in the back as Zelen goes right round the outside, gets ahead of Peso for that final P10 position as Bibix gets another 3-second time penalty. Watch out for Jane Tripkov just behind as well. They're all going to be in it together as they enter the DRS zone on the run down to Torrey Vip at turn 5, past the hotel building as well for the VIP guests. The maximum ticket for something there as well. It'll cost you around about $9.5 grand if you want to spend a race weekend there, and that includes MotoGP and Formula 1, as they've both returned to Portugal in previous years. As now up through Samsung, named after, yes, Samsung, the mobile phone provider and TV company as well. They sponsored that part of the track. Of course, other companies are available, as we see right now as Bondrax and Mateus closing in together once again. It's lap 18 of 33, the first round of the season here for PSGL PC F4, and it is turning into another, nail biter as well. It's sort of on a knife edge, isn't it? It's like the end of the original an Italian job as well. We're very much on a cliff edge, just waiting to fall and the action to begin. I saw a comment in the chat room as well, change the category to train simulator. We remind you the top 5 haven't stopped yet in this race as the AM makes his first stop of the afternoon, as Kevin is right behind the 2 Aston Martins of Bushans and Dazed Rhombus as well.
Yeah, that hotel package, not gonna lie, for £9,000, is it a good investment? If we had action like this, I would gladly give my money towards that. I would love to see this, wake up to this racing, to be honest. We bring some very nice action to these drivers here. The gaps are just getting really close, but we're not seeing any overtakes just yet. The drivers are staying close packed. The gap is just very, very close, but they don't want to risk it for that damage. Damage can really inflict these drivers here. But the pit window is almost open. You could pit technically now and save it to the end. But these drivers, obviously Yara Santiago has already caught up to these drivers. He might actually go for the overtake if he gets a good run. His tires are like, no! Oh! You almost hit there, KFT Kevin. He's just too fast. He can't find a gap anywhere just to park his car at. He's definitely going to try to go for a move. Is he going to use any of the ERS? Let's see what the telemetry. They're going to the pits. We see the first 2 pits, the 2 pits. Driver Bushy Ants and KFT Kevin are going already. This brings up Yara Santiago and everyone else up 2 positions up. But let's see where they end up getting out. Would they stick in the positions in top 10 position, or will they not?
They've gone over to the soft compact tyres. They've already dropped to 12th and 13th, but they're going to be much faster in this 3rd and final stage of the race. Moonfall still leads. The top 3 remain as they are. But watch out for Yara Santiago, Napa Davinsky as well coming in as well. If we go off board for a second as well, I'll show you some of the fantastic things around this circuit as well that we've been seeing in terms of the graphics that Codemasters have done. It's getting better every year, and this track is incredibly detailed as well. You can see the rain clouds just above. Looks like it's going to stay that way for the rest of the race. No sign of that rain coming down, but are we going to be in for a Russia situation when the last laps we get the rain and all hell breaks loose? That'll be the icing on the cake for our first race here in the commentary box. As there's a yellow sector 2, and so
there's a retirement. Is that going to bring out a safety car? They're pretty close to the track, but is that going to bring out a safety car? There's yellow flags. There's a bit of delay. We have Simax already going to the pits.
Yeah. He's gone off at Samson, so that's at turn 8. So he must have gone into the gravel. That's where he's off. Yellow's still out on the track as well as Simax, as you say, and Dazed Rhombus coming to the pit lane. And here we go again. Peso going on the back, trying to get through on Zelen, and it hasn't worked out. So the question is how long we're going to see these pit stops. Oh, that was a bit of a brake nightmare as well. I would have said brake testing, but I think that Peso just completely outbraked himself at that part of the track. How would you read that as a driver?
That was pretty close. I just switched the camera to Mercedes. That was close as well. These drivers are eager to overtake. They can't stick behind their long. They're getting a bit too impatient. These clouds are looking a bit unforgiving right now. It could be possible for a Russia situation for the rain. There's a yellow flag off. That's an AlphaTauri driver back there?
Is it Alpha? It is Alpha. It's the AM. It's the AM, I think, who's falling down the order. He's approaching that zone now. This is Danny, and there's the AM who's recovering onto the track. So yeah, he's had an error out there on the circuit as well. As Mateus now closing in 4/10 behind Napa Davinsky, who's 8/10 off the pace of Yara Santiago as the race leader comes into the pit lane. That's Moonfall. He had a 10-second advantage before he joined in. So now the battle is on once again for the race lead, and it's between 4 cars of Santiago, Napa Davinsky, Mateus Cornell, and TRT's Bontrax as well. Maybe even throw in Zelen as well, if he can close up that 2.5 seconds. And presumably, they're going to close up because these guys battling each other are going to be leaving everybody for dust.
Moonfall comes in, most importantly, into the top 10. He has 11 laps to put in the pace. These soft tires, I'm telling you, these are going to go off like a rocket ship. These cars are not going to waste any time. They're going to use their time and manage it as long as they can. They need to go quick. He's already in the top 9. It's just so good for him. He's such a really good position. To be honest, I'm not surprised if he gets that podium position because they're really gonna The soft runners are really going to put that pace in with the drivers. The gap's already so close with the Mercedes. And Mateus, he's already just 2 tenths, 3 tenths behind Nowotski, as well as Yara and Santiago. Let's look at the ERS. ERS for Yara is 10%, but he's keeping it pretty well. You have Nowotski, he has almost 70%, as well as the drivers keeping it 40, 30, as well as Zelikovic if he can close the gap. He needs to use a little bit if he wants to keep up, but he has no DRS. The DRS train of the top 4 is really keeping close. But Nowotski is saving his ERS. Is he going to use it at the end of the race? That's pretty smart if he does. He has a lot of tools to play with if he wants to do that. But Moonfall, he has a 1 point. He has a 7.6 gap behind him. He is flying right now.
And the top 3 have closed up within 4 tenths of each other now as well as Bondrax.
Oh, Nowotski! Nowotski is off. He almost took off the driver of Bondrax, but no! That's unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. He needs to watch himself for the oncoming drivers, but that's so unfortunate.
He's lost it. He tried to take the outside line as well, and the driver who started at pole position has now dropped down to P7. He's got it all to do once again. Mateus Canal goes into second place. Oh, the steward's going to be looking at that as well. I've just looked at it again on a separate monitor, and it was literally side by side, but he went wide. He lost on his own. That's nothing for the stewards to look at, and that is Mateus up into second place, and the Mercedes stands a chance of winning the first race of the season. Santiago, who is, I remind you, a replacement driver, is once again now back in control. But watch out, one safety car changes everything, and I've always seen it come out in the last couple of laps. Always.
That was definitely a turnaround. These drivers have the podium chances. Maybe even Zelikovic, he does have a penalty. But these top 3 drivers are fighting for positions. It was so unfortunate for the Ferrari driver of Nowotski. He saved up his ERS, he saved up everything so he can just have a go, but now that's not going to work anymore. But you never know, the safety car window is still there. I believe the safety car won't come out until there's 5 laps left. That's the minimum right there. If there's 5 laps, the safety car won't come out. There's still some laps left, but it doesn't look like there's going to be out. The drivers are very skilled to keep it inside the track. You only have 2 retirements, 1 in the pits and 1 off track. Looks like Borgoff is going into the pits. Those 16 lap soft tires are definitely gone right now. I didn't see that, to be honest.
He changed early on as well. Let's stay off board then to watch these top 3 for a lap or so, because this is where the action is on lap 24 of 33 as FedEx does the fastest lap of the race, a 1:17.866. Now he is down in 17th position, so he won't be able to take those bonus points as well. But currently 16 points going the way of Yara Santiago. That's the maximum points for winning a race here in PSGL, and he's only a temporary driver. He might lobby the stewards. I certainly would. If you're leading the championship after debuting in race 1 as a guest and you're leading, I'd want to go and stay on and do the whole 15 races as well. He's proved by far he's quick enough as we head down once again on board with Bondrax as well. Mateus
is looking off. He went off the track. Is that going to cause? Is Bondrax going to go for the overtake? This is a perfect opportunity for the Alfa Romeo driver, but this DRS zone is still there. Is he going to use up all his ERS to get back that position? He get a little bad exit there. Doesn't look like he's going to end his stick the overtake. Doesn't look like he can overtake from back there. What a move from Bondrax. That's all unlucky for the Mercedes, but the race is still not over yet. There's about 7 laps left. They're both on low ERS usage. He's only on 5%. But most importantly, he's outside of Yara Santiago's DRS. He needs to get in quickly. He's almost there. Oh, he's coming. Look at it squirmy coming off the exit. What action are we seeing coming towards the end of this race?
So that's Bondrax up to second place at the moment as well. It is now an Alfa Romeo 1-2. Mercedes are in third with Mateus Canal as well. Who's going to take the checkered flag as the race winner? They are now on 12-lap old medium compound tyres. On lap 25 and 33, they'll have to go to the end now as well on these tyres. So watch out for the soft runners to start coming back through the field. It's not impossible. There's 9 seconds separating where Moonfall is to the top. That's easy if these guys are going to keep battling each other as well. We're on board with Mateus down towards turn number 1 as well, and he just can't get anywhere near Bondrax. Maybe in the second of the DRS zones on the run down towards Tori Vip. A little bit of a mistake there from Bondrax. Late braking skill as well from Mateus, helping out up the hill once again, opening the DRS. Now, can he get alongside? Can he go for a late lunge? We've seen it done so far tonight. He's thinking about it, late on the brakes. Can't do it as well, backs out of it as there's more drama further back as KTF Kevin goes from the inside of Bush Ants as well, and Dazed Rhombus changing over positions as well. They're fighting over 11th place, but that actually, correction, they're fighting over 10th place because Simax has got a penalty.
Simax got a penalty. There's still action behind all these drivers. We still have Bush Ants, Dazed Rhombus, and the KFD Kevin still fighting for this position, as well as Moonfall. He is on the stop and he's repetitively showing off his pace, but is that going to be enough in the end of the race? We still have some laps left to see where Moonfall can definitely shine. He's definitely catching up to these drivers. As we go back to Mateus, running up into that DRS zone, can he get that runoff? Can he get that exit speed enough to get into that P2 position? This could be an Alfa Romeo 1-2. This is an impressive performance from Yair Santiago. Bondrax is outside of that DRS zone and is running low in ERS. He practically has nothing. He has little to no ERS in that car. The fog light, the rain light is on for that Alfa Romeo driver. He has no ERS. He needs to defend as much as he can with the raging Mercedes right behind him. Following back, we still have these Red Bull and Zelenkovic still fighting for those positions. Even if he has lost that position, he's still fighting for some good points. That Ferrari driver, Jane, almost hitting in the back of that Ferrari, not quite. There's so much close contact.
Track limits, that would be for Jane as well. Track limits, I noticed, as I said, turns 1, 2, 5 and 8. And we just saw Jane Trimkov go very, very wide at the exit there. So that'll be monitored by the stewards. All the drivers are required to record all their races as well to be submitted to race control, so that nothing can be hidden from us here. Complete and utter access all areas. Now, Yair Santiago has got 1.3 seconds to Bondrax as well. The two teammates very much playing the game there, but Mateus Canal is getting inside. But, he's just dropped 3 tenths. What happened there? He had big time loss in that last sector. He's dropped behind a second. That's very unusual there as we ride with Jane Trimkov now on the back with Zelen as well. Don't think they're going to make a move into turn 1. It's too far away.
Too far away. These gaps are getting closer, and it's getting closer for these two drivers here. This is the most interesting battle right now in these laps. The race is almost over. It's 5 laps left until you will see the checkered flag going across the racetrack. Well, not across the racetrack, right outside of the pit wall, but we will see these drivers getting close and close. We can see Mateus is not really utilizing his battery. Maybe he's saving up for a last attack against Bondrax. As well as Bondrax, he's using as much as he can to just survive out of that Mercedes. And whilst the Mercedes is chilling, Bondrax is sweating. I can just feel it from here from my comm box. I can just feel it from here. What do you think?
Absolutely, a change of fireproof underwear needed as soon as this race is over, and maybe even a cold shower just to sort of get over all the anxiety and stress you're feeling as well. It's a massive combination of everything as well. You've got the pressure, you've got the anxiety, you've got your own self-doubt in your brain as well, telling you that you're not good enough to do the race, you're not good enough to go for that overtake. You've got to overcome all of that and just push through it as well. It is fantastic testament to how close esports is to professional driving in real life. I don't differ between real life and esports. It's all real. You all go through the same physical demanding as well. I think lockdown last year proved it as well, when professional drivers tried their hands at esports and the esport guys were quicker. This is where the action is as well, and it's fantastic for the off-season. As we see Peso now closing behind their own teammate of Jane Trimkov, who's closing in on Zelen as well, down into Tori Vip. And they're running together, but they can't find a gap. I echo back one of our viewers' comments earlier on. It's very much like a train, and I'll go back even further to 2004. It's a truly train.
You can't be any more right with that virtual experience. This is basically close to real motorsports. We saw in F1 Esports, a F1 Esports driver has gone off to take an F2C in the real world, as well as Max Verstappen, the crown champion of F1 2021, doing the Le Mans 24-hour virtual, and of course winning the 24 Le Mans. So we could just see it's practically the same as real life, and as we see the retirement into the pits. Anticlimactic. Yeah, my heart rate just went up real quick. It looks like Matthias is 8 tenths behind Bondrux. Bondrux is really showing off some pace here, even getting closer to Yara Santiago. We saw that he was outside the DRS range, but he's getting really close. He's only 4 tenths off his teammate. Could there be a position switch?
Oh, this is even more brilliant if it is, and look how close all three of them are running. Is this truly going to be an overtake of all three of them? I don't think I've ever seen 1, 2, 3 side by side before in any race category I've covered. As you'll go down to Tory Vip as well, it's again a testament to how good these cars are as well. As even the chat is saying Bondrag's going even faster as well, and Bondrag is sweating as well. So everybody agreeing with you there, Saigo, that this pressure is well and truly on as they head down the roller coaster section towards Craig Jones at turn 9.
Yeah, we just saw he had little to no ERS in that car, and now he has up to 20% ERS. Even the car behind him cannot even catch up. He has 25 to 30% in that car right now. This is beautiful pace off of Bondrux. Is there going to be a bit of a strategy? As we know that Yara Santiago is a reserve driver and Bondrux is a full-time driver. Is he going to give that position so they could get more points? As this is a 1-2 situation, you never know with these drivers. There's 3 laps left, going to lap 31 right now. He's utilizing his battery. The Mercedes is not utilizing as that much.
He's got the DRS though. I thought he was going to have a go. He hasn't, as this is Moonfall with Napa, and this changes it. Foot, that was Jane getting, no, that's Zeller getting through on Jane as well. So they're side by side, right on the outside. That's a great move from the Red Bull driver. Goes a little bit too wide. Zeller goes back round the outside into turn 4, and they are trading positions. Brilliant. Look, look, look. They're trying to break the toe down to Tory Vip as well. I'd send it, Janger. Oh, too far back. That's a shame. But the battle is changing up now. We've got 1, 2, 3 in a battle, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a battle. As the Ferrari.
That was so close. That was almost the end of the race of Novotsky. I swear they were gonna hit it there, but I guess not. The Red Bull is in the Ferrari sandwich now. We saw the tables half turn. Point drivers, he got hit by Moonfall. He's gonna be hit by Moonfall. Oh no! Where does that come from?
And let's put out the yellows. We know where it is. It's Portimao. So Moonfall up the inside. You said watch out for the soft tyre runners. It was a very much a punt and go. Not very civil of Moonfall there. But look at this. The battle for the lead changing up. It's the penultimate lap coming up as we start. Lap 32 of 33. And the battle is well and truly on. DRS is open for all three of them as they head down now towards turn number 1. Can't see anything going on the front though. Yar Santiago really let Bondrax through. Or does he want to prove a point to the fact I deserve a full-time role? But they're all together now. Down to Tory Vip once again. Look at them. Oh, that's a big slide from Mateus. Big snap of oversteer. Down towards Tory Vip as well. And I don't think Bondrak's going to make a move. He hasn't made the move for the race lead at the moment. Peso, though, closing in.
Pezzo is closing in. Dabotski is in the back there, as well as Moonfall. That's unfortunate for him. We were going to see a Ferrari sandwich there with Red Bull in the middle. But no, Moonfall has can't wait to show off his pace and went a little bit too fast. Moonfall also getting a 3-second time penalty. That will definitely send him back. Might be even P8 for him if Novotsky doesn't pick up the pace a little bit. But these drivers are getting closer and closer. Matthias is only 3/10 off of Bondrax. Is he going to go for the race? We're going towards the last lap of the race right now.
Let's go off board and stick with the top 3 on the last lap. This is where the battle is going to be. As they look at this ERS battery power so much as well. On to the last lap we go. Dazed Rhombus gets a penalty. Look at that. Yar Santiago taking it to the pit wall. The final lap of the Portuguese Grand Prix. Bondrax has the DRS power. He goes to the inside and takes the lead. A tremendous move. Santiago going to try and come back though as we go into Lagos.
No! No, my game has crashed. Oh, no way. The game action was too much to handle and my game crashed.
The worst timing in the history of PSGL. How about that for an anticlimax?
What has just happened? I'm going to put into intermission real quick. What have we just seen here? I'm so sorry for the crash. There's nothing I can do about that, but whoa my god, what is going on? I'm going to quickly jump back into the race real quick if I can find an, if I can just join the lobby real quick. But wow, I can't wait to come back. I need to see what's going on right now.
It's closing in. We will get there. Don't worry. This last lap will be coming up. Oh, we are going to get there. We're going to get back in. We need to see it, though, on the stream. Take us right back.
We are going back. We're loading into the race. Loading went pretty quick. Sorry for the race. We are looking at the standings. And what are we looking at? Bondrax is leading the race.
Here we go. We're back with it. What a reaction into the last corner in a fantastic opening race.
Is the Mercedes going to pick it up? The Mercedes right behind the Alfa Romeo is going to overtake him in the last lap. Oh!
It didn't do it. Mateus didn't do it. It's TRT Bondrax who takes the checkered flag and wins the Portuguese Grand Prix. Santiago gets across the line by 0.027. Fantastic. What a race opener. The top three crossing the line by 0.027 and throwing a game crash as well. How about that for excitement in the opener? It's Bondrax who wins. A great win for Bondan Moldovan, who is a permanent driver who takes maximum points. Santiago gets second place as well. And Mateus Canal finishes in third. A brilliant race, 0.027. All that separated them all at the line.
What an amazing race. It was so good that my computer cannot even handle it. That game just crashed immediately on the last lap. What a time to crash. But we see Bondax winning. It was against the odds. He didn't have any DRS, couldn't get the DRS as well from his teammate, and suddenly he's just shown off this amazing pace, taking a Alfa Romeo 1-2. This is the ideal situation for these Alfa Romeo drivers. We didn't have one full-time driver show up, yet these two drivers outperformed spectacularly. I can't catch these words to phantom size how well this race went for these two drivers, as well as the Mercedes. Only for so little bit could have got that P2. That was just, this is just racing. This is how close you can get it. As we can go ahead for the interviews, we have our standings here. Bondrax with a P1, yeah. P2 Yaris Santiago, as well as P3 Matlas Kunlao from the Argentina, taking up that P3. As we go down the order, we have P4 for the Red Bulls and P5 for the Red Bull as well, for Jan Topkov and Pesso. You have Zelenkovic, Nabotsky for the Ferrari drivers sticking together, as well as the Williams, the P8. You have KFT Kevin, P9, and Simax for P10. Those are your top 10 drivers. Going back to the order, you have Bushy Ants 11th place, Days Rombus P12, Bugger off, Danny Cohen P13, Bugger off the Polish driver, P14, Ferdex P15. The AM driving for AlphaTauri is P16, and I didn't have time to say those other drivers as we go back into the com box.
What a race. What a fantastic race. Thanks for taking us through the standings there while I pick up a microphone. We are going to have, hopefully, some drivers coming into the com box as well. No one in the waiting room just yet, but get in as well. But we've got, I think, to start on that fantastic last lap. I said PSGL threw us in with the deep end with a qualifying like that. With a race like that, I don't think I've got a voice left. Fantastic last lap and throwing a game crash as well. What's your opinion?
That was an amazing race to watch. Honestly, I had so much fun commentating with you. My debut commentary for PSGL, absolutely loved it. These drivers are very skilled. The last lap was all I needed just to send it off the night. It was amazing. The drivers, how well they stick with the strategy. There wasn't any much retirements, no safety car, but that didn't stop us to bring us a lot of actions, as well as that end game crash. But we did see the results, and we did see the Mercedes so closely getting that. He could have breathed a little bit faster, and then he could have gone that P2 situation. But these drivers, Alfa Romeo, very happy today. Mercedes should be celebrating as well with that podium position. But just a great day for these drivers.
A fantastic race as well. No one currently waiting in the room. But let's talk about AVT Santiago as well. He wasn't even supposed to be racing. He came in an hour before the qualifying session got underway, and somehow he's blitzed it out the park. Do you think he deserves a full-time seat in the season?
He's definitely shown it here. If it doesn't get one, I'll be very surprised. That racecraft, that pace was brilliant from Yaris Santiago, and I've personally raced with him. I could say he is a qualified driver for this league. I won't be surprised if he gets that full-time seat soon. What do you think?
I think he'll definitely get a full-time seat as well after that performance. Sim-Max as well, he was debutising the McLaren for KTF Faz as well. He had an okay race. He did set the fastest lap overall as well, but penalties, but was inside as well at the top 10 at one point. He went for an alternate strategy. Were you surprised that so many drivers decided to take the the medium tyres over the hard tyres? I certainly was.
I certainly was as well. The hard tires, as well as they perform, they're not. If you want to win the race, if you want to get those points, those positions, the medium tires are there for it. The hard tires, I would say they're a safe option, but I definitely would not recommend it, as you can see here. But they did perform pretty well. They kept out of trouble with the penalty situations. I told you it's a pretty hard track. The track limits here are pretty abusing, and they're very strict on that. As we also have race control, we see everything. You know, we have eyes in the front, in the back. You know. So we'll see definitely with the penalties. We'll see with the incident reports. We definitely did see some contact there, some rough side by side there. So we'll see what the end of the verdicts will give us. But for now, the top 3 looking very good, as well as congratulations on those top 10 point scorers.
Absolutely. Right, let's take a quick look at the calendar and show you what's coming up in the rest of the series, not only for PCF4, but also across the PlayStation leagues and across the top 3 tiers of the PC leagues as well. We've done Portugal now. That's been ticked off the list as well. We move on next week. It is Silverstone, the Great British Circuit as well. A track half in Northamptonshire, half in Buckinghamshire, before going on to February with Monaco, followed on then as well by France and Hungary. March sees Austria, followed by Saudi Arabia. The week that Formula 1 returns in Bahrain, we race here on PSGL at Spa in Belgium. Hopefully this time we'll actually get a race and it won't be rained off. Then on the cusp there as well, you see from March to April, we'll be racing at the Netherlands as well. Max Verstappen, Super Max country as well, and quite a lot of our drivers as well from the Netherlands going to be racing with us as well. Brazil, Mexico and Singapore take us through. On the cusp between April and May, we go to America. And in May, the 2 races that will take us through will be Italy at Imola, followed then by Bahrain and the Shakir International Circuit to round out the season. Back up to the box now, and my final question to you, Psycho, as well. Who is your top tip for Silverstone?
Top tip for Silverstone. Well, we've seen the pace already here from these drivers. I won't be surprised if those Alfa Romeo drivers will come back again. We have to see with Yara Santiago though. He will maybe not join us. You never know with a second Alfa Romeo driver. He might not join. You never know. But the Alfa Romeo is looking strong right now in the standings, constructors and championships. As well as we have other drivers like Bushy Ants. He didn't score that well. He did score some points, I believe. But no, he scored P11. He was almost into that point section. But I believe that Silverstone is his track. He does live in the UK and he's very fond of Silverstone. So I would definitely see him in the top 5 most likely. But these drivers, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see soon with the next race. I can't wait.
7 days' time, that's when we'll be on as well. A reminder that the PCF1 League for F1, alongside with Jarno Otmir as well, that has moved on to Wednesdays as well, not on Thursdays. And we have now taken their time slot as well, which I'm very thankful for as well, alongside F3 and F2. Silverstone next up then, an exciting race for the season opener here in Portimao. The 2 Alfa Romeos are dominant, but it is Bogdan Moldovan, which is a fantastic name, by the way, sir. Can't wait to hopefully hear from you in the future. My thanks to you all at home for watching. Have a very safe weekend as well, wherever you are. And for myself, Joshua Burge, and from Psycho up in the comms box, thanks for joining us. It's bye for now.
I'm going to have to find that hotel package somewhere. Thank you, everyone. We're going to load into the intro. See you guys.
It's time once again to go racing.
It does not get any better than this.
The pressure is really on now.
Yes, it's pole position. Lights out and we're racing in PSGL.
The first lap has been absolute chaos.
What an overtake.
Oh no!
I've never seen anything like it.
Side by side again. This will be settled right at the end. It's time once again to go racing.
It does not get any better